The first time I saw him, he blotted out the sun. The sky over Meridian Colony had been the color of polished steel that morning, clouds hanging low over the metallic spires and hydroponic towers that kept our fragile settlement alive. Sirens wailed through the streets, echoing off alloy and glass. "Evacuate to interior sectors immediately," the automated system repeated. "Unidentified extraterrestrial entity descending." I was halfway across Skybridge 12 when the shadow passed over me. People screamed. Some dropped to their knees. Others ran blindly, slamming into each other in their panic. I gripped the railing and forced myself to look up. The object descending from orbit was not a ship. It was a being. Massive. Humanoid. Encased in dark, segmented armor that shimmered like obsidian beneath atmospheric friction. Jets of pale blue energy flared behind him as he slowed his descent, the air around him rippling. When he landed in the center of Meridian Plaza, the ground fractured. 8 meters tall. At least. The shockwave knocked me backward onto the bridge floor. My ears rang as dust and debris spiraled into the air. Through the haze, I saw him straighten. He was enormous, easily 3 stories high. His armor clung to a powerful, elongated frame. Broad shoulders. 4 fingers on each hand, tipped not with claws but with articulated metallic guards. A helmet covered his face, smooth and angular, glowing lines tracing its surface like circuitry. Security drones swarmed him immediately. "Stand down." Commander Havek's voice boomed through loudspeakers. "You are trespassing in United Terran space. Identify yourself." The being turned his head slowly, as if orienting to the sound. The drones fired. Beams of concentrated plasma streaked toward his chest. They struck and dissipated harmlessly across a translucent field that shimmered briefly into visibility. The crowd's fear shifted from panic to despair. He lifted one massive hand. Every drone in the air froze. Just froze. Then crumpled inward, collapsing like crushed paper before falling lifelessly to the ground. No explosion. No retaliation. Just neutralization. "He's not attacking," I murmured to myself. But fear had already infected the colony. I should have run. Instead, I crossed the bridge and moved toward the plaza. I don't know what compelled me. Curiosity, defiance, stupidity. Maybe all 3. The first words. By the time I reached the edge of Meridian Plaza, security forces had formed a perimeter. Railguns trained upward. Energy shields activated around nearby buildings. The alien warrior stood unmoving at the center, towering above the armored vehicles like a monument carved from night. "Back up," a soldier barked at me. "He hasn't attacked," I said. "He crushed our drones. They fired first." The soldier glared at me like I'd lost my mind. A low hum resonated through the plaza. The alien moved again. This time, his helmet shifted. Panels retracted with mechanical precision, folding back to reveal his face. Gasps rippled through the crowd. He was not monstrous. Not in the way we had imagined. His skin was a deep cobalt blue, faintly iridescent. High cheekbones. Eyes like molten silver, luminous and unblinking. His features were strong, angular, but not grotesque. He scanned the perimeter slowly. Then his gaze fell on me. I don't know why. There were hundreds of people there. But his eyes locked onto mine. A pressure built behind my temples, like static before a storm. And then I heard him. Not through my ears. Inside my mind. "You are not armed." The voice was deep, resonant, layered with something ancient. I swallowed. "No," I whispered. His head tilted slightly. The soldiers shouted orders, unaware of the silent exchange. "They are afraid." "Yes," I said softly. A pause. Then, aloud this time, his voice amplified without visible technology, vibrating through the air. "Are you afraid of me, human?" Every weapon shifted toward his exposed face. The question wasn't directed at the crowd. It was directed at me. My heart hammered against my ribs. Every instinct screamed to say yes, to admit terror, to step back. But as I looked at him, really looked, I didn't see rage. I saw restraint. "I should be," I said, my voice trembling but steady. "But I'm not." The plaza fell silent. His silver eyes narrowed slightly. "Why?" I took a breath that felt too small for my lungs. "Because you haven't hurt anyone." Another pause. The faintest ripple passed across his expression. "I did not come to harm you." "Then why did you come?" I asked. He straightened to his full, towering height. "To choose." Middle, the choosing. The word echoed through the plaza like a verdict. Commander Havoc stepped forward cautiously. "Choose what?" he demanded. The alien's gaze never left mine. "A counterpart." Murmurs broke out among the crowd. "This is absurd," Havoc snapped. "You invade our colony and speak of choice?" "I invaded nothing," the warrior replied evenly. "I arrived. You neutralized our defenses. You attacked first." Havoc opened his mouth to retort, then stopped. The alien's eyes returned to me. "Your neural patterns did not spike with hostility," he said. "You assessed. You observed." "You're reading my mind?" I asked. "Surface resonance only." "That's still invasive." "Your species broadcasts constantly," he replied. "You call it emotion." A strange flicker of amusement passed through the crowd. "Who are you?" I asked. "I am Kaeldar of the Virellian Vanguard." The name vibrated strangely in the air. "And what does a Virellian Vanguard want with Meridian Colony?" "I seek a bondmate." The word hung heavy between us. Laughter erupted from somewhere behind me, nervous, disbelieving. "You crossed interstellar space for a partner?" I said. "Yes." "Why here?" "Because your world emitted a signal." My stomach tightened. "What signal?" "An anomaly," he said. "A resonance compatible with Virellian physiology." Silence. Then his gaze sharpened. "It originated from you." My breath caught. "That's impossible." "You constructed a quantum array 3 cycles ago," he said. "An experimental transmitter." The air seemed to vanish from my lungs. I had built that array in secret, an attempt to tap into subspace frequencies theorized but never proven. "You're saying I called you?" "Yes." The plaza buzzed with whispers. Havoc's expression darkened. "This is manipulation," he snapped. "A ploy to abduct a civilian." Kaeldar's eyes flicked toward him briefly. "If I wished to abduct, your defenses would not prevent it." The statement wasn't a threat. It was a fact. My mind raced. "You said you came to choose," I said slowly. "What happens if I refuse?" The silver glow in his eyes dimmed slightly. "Then I depart." "That's it." "Yes." No ultimatum. No coercion. Just choice. The offer. They moved the conversation inside the colony's council chamber under heavy guard. Kaeldar had to crouch to fit through the reinforced entrance. Even then, his head nearly brushed the ceiling. Up close, his presence was overwhelming. Power radiated from him, not aggression, but density, like gravity had chosen him as its anchor. "You propose a bond," I said as we faced each other across the chamber. "Yes." "What does that mean?" "Among the Virellians, warriors of my stature cannot reproduce or stabilize our neural cores without a compatible counterpart," he explained. "Our biology evolved for duality. And you think I'm that counterpart?" "I do not think," he corrected. "I know." "How?" "Our neural frequencies align the moment you transmitted." I rubbed my temples. And what does this bond entail? Shared cognition, amplified longevity, emotional convergence. Emotional convergence? I echoed. Yes. That sounds like losing myself. No, he said firmly. It is expansion. Havoc slammed his fist against the table. This is madness. We cannot allow an alien warlord to claim one of our own. I claim nothing, Kaldar said calmly. I ask. His gaze shifted back to me. Are you afraid? The question carried more weight now. Not just of him. Of what it meant. Yes, I admitted. The chamber went still. Good, he said softly. Fear indicates understanding of consequence. And if I choose you? I asked. Then you will leave with me. A collective intake of breath. You'd abandon Earth? Havoc demanded. I wouldn't be abandoning it, I said quietly. I'd be exploring something beyond it. Kaldar studied me carefully. You are not bound by fear of isolation, he observed. No, I said. But I am bound by responsibility. To them, he asked. To myself. The threat from orbit. The decision was ripped from my hands before I could make it. Long-range sensors detected incoming vessels, Virellian ships. Not Kaldar's allies, his rivals. They tracked my trajectory, he said grimly. They consider Earth vulnerable. Havoc cursed under his breath. You brought war to our doorstep. I came alone, Kaldar replied. They follow their own ambition. Through the chamber's wide viewport, streaks of light pierced the atmosphere. Meridian's orbital defense grid activated. This is your fault. Havoc shouted at me. No, Kaldar said sharply. It is mine. He turned to me. If you remain in bondage, they will see you as leverage. And if we bond, they will see you as sovereign. I stared at him. You're saying I become untouchable? Yes. The first explosions rocked the upper atmosphere. Time was gone. Havoc looked between us, desperation replacing anger. Can you stop them? He asked Kaldar. Alone? No. With a bond? Yes. The weight of it pressed down on me. Earth. Meridian. My family. All beneath a sky suddenly filled with alien warships. Kaldar lowered himself onto one knee, so we were eye level. I will not force you, he said quietly. Even now. Another explosion trembled through the chamber. He extended one massive hand toward me. Are you afraid? I looked at the hand, at the being who had crossed the stars not to conquer, but to connect. And I felt something stronger than fear. Choice. No, I said. His eyes flared brighter. I choose you. Ending. The bond of titans. The bonding did not happen in a chamber or under ceremony. It happened in the sky above Meridian. Kaldar lifted me effortlessly, launching upward with jets of blue energy blazing from his armor. We broke through cloud cover in seconds. Virellian warships loomed overhead, sleek, blade-like vessels firing arcs of crimson plasma toward the colony below. Hold to me, he instructed. I don't have much choice, I muttered, clinging to the armor plating along his chest. He removed one gauntlet, exposing cobalt skin beneath. Touch here, he said. I pressed my palm against his. The universe detonated. Not in sound, in sensation. I felt his strength, vast, coiled, disciplined. His centuries of training. His loneliness. And he felt me. My doubts, my stubborn hope, my refusal to be ruled by fear. The resonance locked into place like two frequencies snapping into harmony. Energy surged outward from us in a brilliant sphere of silver and blue. The nearest warship faltered. Its weapon systems flickered. Through shared vision, I understood what to do. We extended our linked consciousness outward, targeting not hulls, but command signals.
disrupting,
overriding. Ship after ship powered down, their systems collapsing into inert silence. Within minutes, the sky was clear. Kaeldar hovered in the thinning atmosphere, breath steady. "It is done," he said. I realized I could hear him without effort now, not as intrusion, but as presence. "You weren't exaggerating about amplification," I said, breathless. A faint rumble, laughter, vibrated through his chest.
"No."
We descended slowly back toward Meridian. Crowds filled the plaza again. This time, not with panic, with awe. Kaeldar set me gently on the fractured stone where he had first landed. Havok approached cautiously. "It's over?" he asked. "Yes," Kaeldar replied. "And you?" Havok asked me. I looked at my hands. They felt the same. And different. "I'm still me," I said. "Just more." Kaeldar's gaze softened as it rested on me. "You are sovereign now," he said quietly. "Does that mean I outrank you?" I teased. His silver eyes gleamed. "It means we stand equal." The sun broke through the clouds, casting light across the plaza. Weeks later, the first Virellian diplomatic envoy arrived, not as invaders, but as allies. Meridian became a bridge between species. And I stood beside an 8-meter warrior who had once cast a shadow of fear across my world. He asked me once more, in the quiet of a shared chamber beneath unfamiliar stars, "Are you afraid?" I smiled, resting my hand against his luminous skin. "No," I said softly. "I choose you." And this time, the words carried no uncertainty, only belonging.